A massive German shepherd had gotten his head trapped between cold metal bars. He growled and panicked, his deep howls echoing down the quiet street as frightened adults stood frozen, unsure how to help. But then a baby crawled forward, did something that stunned everyone. It was a quiet morning in the Willow Creek neighborhood. Everything felt calm until the barking began. At first, it was a single loud bark, sharp and urgent. Then came another, followed by a deep, panicked howl. The sound came from behind a tall iron gate in a side yard where a large German shepherd thrashed and yelped, his massive head wedged tightly between the cold bars. No one knew how he'd done it, but he was stuck and terrified. Within minutes, neighbors emerged from their homes, drawn by the noise. The dog strained with all his strength to pull free, paws scraping against the concrete. Saliva dripped from his jaws as he cried out, shattering the morning peace. Two neighbors, Mr. Halverson and a teenage boy named Eli, rushed over first. They tried to calm the dog, speaking softly and holding out gloved hands. But the shepherd was frantic. His powerful body slammed against the gate. Not out of aggression. Someone brought a bottle of dish soap, hoping it might slick the bars and help slide the dog's head free. It didn't work. Every time they touched his neck or tried to shift his head, the dog jerked violently, yelping in pain. He didn't understand they were trying to help. Someone called animal control. Another tried to reach the owner, no answer. Eli crouched low, his voice calm. "It's okay, boy, just stay still." But the shepherd was exhausted, panting heavily, his tongue lolling from his mouth. The tension thickened as ideas ran out and hope began to wane. A small crowd gathered, parents clutching their kids, curious neighbors watching nervously. Phones were out. Some offered suggestions: turn his head, cool him down, cut the bars. But no one had a real solution. The shepherd, muscular and clearly cared for, had likely slipped through the yard gate chasing something, then gotten stuck. Now he was trapped. His ears were pinned back, eyes wide with fear. A young woman tried coaxing him with treats, but he was too distressed to care. He let out a guttural cry that made several people flinch. "He's going to pass out," someone whispered. Mr. Halverson checked his phone. "Animal control says 20 minutes, he said grimly. "That might be too late." Then from the side of the yard came the soft shuffle of tiny feet. While the adults debated and the shepherd struggled, no one noticed the small figure crawling through the grass, dressed in soft blue pajamas and tiny sneakers. A baby had slipped unnoticed from a nearby porch. His name was Noah. His mother had turned her back for just a moment to grab a bottle from the kitchen. In that minute, Noah had crawled through a slightly ajar gate, drawn to the sound of the barking dot by the time anyone noticed. Noah was already halfway across the yard, heading straight toward the trapped dog. A gasp rippled through the crowd. "Noah!" someone shouted, but the baby didn't stop. He crawled right up to the gate where the shepherd was trapped and sat down just inches away, pressing his small hands against the iron bars. Everyone held their breath. The panicked dog, who'd been thrashing just seconds ago, froze. His wild eyes locked onto the baby, now sitting calmly in front of him. No growls, no lunges, just stillness. It was as if something sacred had entered the space. Noah blinked up at the dog, completely unafraid. He gripped the bars with his tiny fingers and let out a soft giggle, pure, unfiltered joy. A woman stepped forward to grab the baby, but Mr. Halverson held out his arm. "Wait," he whispered, awe in his voice. The shepherd's breathing slowed. His ears, once pinned back, lifted slightly. He let out a low whine of pain, but something more tender, almost apologetic. His tail, once twitching nervously, now lay still. Noah reached through the bars and touched the dog's nose. For the first time since this all began, the German shepherd closed his eyes. Peace had entered chaos in the form of a baby. Noah's tiny hand stayed on the dog's muzzle, soft and steady. The shepherd let out a slow, shaky exhale, as though releasing all the fear he'd carried. His muscles, tight and trembling, gradually relaxed. Noah giggled again and leaned forward, pressing his forehead against the bars. The dog didn't flinch. Instead, he let out a grateful whimper and then, to everyone's astonishment, licked the baby's fingers. Gasps rippled through the crowd. "Did you see that?" someone whispered. "He's calm, like he knows him." Eli and Mr. Halverson stepped forward, watching carefully for any sign of panic. But the dog stayed still, watching Noah, trusting him. With the shepherd finally calm, the neighbors could act. One person gently cradled the dog's body, while another examined the gate. "He's not wedged as tight now," someone noted. "We might be able to move his head." The baby hadn't just calmed the dog, he had given them a chance. Eli knelt beside the shepherd, moving his hands slowly to the dog's neck. "Easy, boy," he whispered, glancing at Noah, who clapped softly like a tiny cheerleader. The dog didn't growl, didn't resist. His trust in the baby seemed to extend to everyone around him. With Mr. Halverson steadying the gate, Eli gently tilted the shepherd's head. For one tense moment, it wouldn't budge. Then, with a slight twist and a careful nudge, it slipped free. A cheer erupted from the crowd. The German shepherd stumbled backward, panting heavily, but finally free. He didn't run. He didn't bark. He walked straight to Noah and gently pressed his head against the baby's shoulder. Noah squealed with delight, patting the dog's ear. Phones snapped pictures. Some people wiped away tears. It wasn't just a rescue, it was a bond. Grown adults who'd been too afraid to approach the dog now clapped and cried. The baby had done what none of them could. And, as someone said softly, that baby didn't just save the dog, he changed him.